What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Project X Talk. My name is Ethan, aka White Sea Deer, and today I want to talk to you guys about 5 Activision IPs that I believe should be resurrected by the Xbox Game Studios. Now, these aren't going to be your normal IPs. I know the Crash Bandicoots, the Spearows, the Guitar Heroes. I'm going to be going deep into their catalog and pulling out some old games that maybe a lot of people aren't thinking of. But before we go any further, if you want to hear me and the gang's thoughts on the entire Activision Blizzard Xbox merger, head over to our most recent podcast where we break down and have an amazing discussion on the implications of the deal. Link is in the description. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. And thank you all for being here, and let's jump into it. Number 5, Gun. Gun is a Western third-person shooter that puts you in the boots of protagonist Colton White. The game starts with an attack on a riverboat where you escape and have to go to a place called Dodge City to find a woman. The game follows the adventures of this man and includes a multitude of side activities like poker, hunting, and bounty hunting. Now, so far that sounds familiar, doesn't it? The riverboat, poker. These are all things that are featured in Red Dead Redemption. Yes, this was Red Dead Redemption before Red Dead Redemption, although not as good, but that's because it was in 2005. Come on, people, give it a break. It is clear that Western-style RPGs are something our community hungers for, and with Take-Two Interactive showing no signs of continued support for the RDR franchise, it's time for Xbox to capitalize on that power vacuum. Take the world of Gun and turn it into an amazing open-world Western RPG that spans 4 states much like its original. Many of the elements of Gun translate well into a modern game, and I believe this is exactly what people are looking for. Now, number 4 on this list is Phantasmagoria.
Oh, restless souls, this poor gal seeks answers to questions unknown.
No, this is not the game where you go around hunting ghosts. This is the 1995 MS-DOS point-and-click adventure Phantasmagoria. Now, I know what you're thinking. Looking at this gameplay, you're probably rolling your eyes in disgust, questioning my status as a gamer. Hear me out, people. Point-and-click adventures have become a very popular medium in the industry over time. Where this works most is the horror genre. We look at breakout stars like Five Nights at Freddy's and Doki Doki Literature Club as examples of the simple act of pointing and clicking can bring terror to the hearts of its players. Phantasmagoria is a storied game that was extremely popular in the mid-90s. Bringing it into the future would give it a fresh coat of paint and updated gameplay. I think that it is something that would really surprise all of us. Number 3, Soldier of Fortune.
John, you read? Go ahead. NYPD has a large group surrounding their station 6C. Heads up. Roger.
This game is a personal favorite of mine. My love for Soldier of Fortune started way back in like 2002 or 2003. I was able to get a copy for my PlayStation 2, and immediately upon booting it up, my mother watching over my shoulder, I shot my first neo-Nazi, blowing a hole the size of a bowling ball into his rib cage. Immediately, my mother said no, and the game was lost to time, until years later when I found it, stole it back, and played it to my heart's content. To say this game created a moral panic back in its day is an understatement. British Columbia regulators actually labeled it as an adult film, putting it on the same level as pornography. In Germany, the game was banned from being played by youths. If my experience serves me well, any video game that is attacked by government regulators is a good video game, and this one is no different. Soldier of Fortune puts you in the combat boots of a US hired mercenary, hence the name Soldier of Fortune, and pits you against a bunch of Nazis who stole some nuclear weapons. The original game was built in the Quake 2 engine and has that classic first-person shooter feel. The game also had an awesome multiplayer complete with 7 game modes: Arsenal, Assassination, Capture the Flag, Conquer the Bunker, Control, Deathmatch, and Realistic Deathmatch. All hallmarks of modern arena-style FPS multiplayers. With many Battlefield fans disgruntled by the consistent buggy messes they're given, and Xbox now owning the other top 2 FPSs in the market, COD and Halo, Xbox could use this opportunity to strike. Creating an awesome Soldier of Fortune game with an immersive campaign story and exciting multiplayer could signal the complete domination of first-person shooters by Xbox. Number 2, Singularity. This game has it all, people. Communists, mutants, time travel. Of of course, radiation. Singularity is a Bioshock-esque FPS that puts you in the irradiated pants of American soldier named pants. Why'd I do that? Singularity is a Bioshock-esque FPS that puts you in the irradiated pants of American soldier Nate Renko, a time jumper that has to tiptoe around the fabric of space to stop the Soviet Union from discovering a substance called Element 99, which created the rogue gallery of monsters that you have to face. This horrifying alternative universe, though, may have been ahead of its time. The main mechanic in the game is the use of something called the time manipulation device, which lets you, well, manipulate time. Everything from slowing down enemies during combat to pointing at a specific object to revert them to a previous form. The game was panned for its lack of imagination on what could have been done with the time manipulation device. Other than that, it was an amazing story and battle to save the world from those darn commies. Having a new game with features like environmental destruction and an expanded use of the time manipulation device would bring an awesome game into the modern age and give us a spectacular adventure. Number 1. Prototype.
My name is Alex Mercer. I'm the reason for all of this. They call me a killer, a monster, a terrorist. I'm all of these things.
Surprisingly, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about Prototype. The game follows a man named Alex Mercer who is able to shapeshift. He wakes up in a basement morgue to soon discover his powers. These powers draw the ire of the United States Marine Corps and a special forces unit called Black Watch. Blaming him for the release of the plague called Blacklight, immediately he is attacked and needs to escape, being viewed as the enemy by the government. With absolutely no memories of his life prior to waking up, he sets out to discover the truth, all while being hunted by everyone and everything. In an amazing twist, the sequel Prototype 2 puts you in the shoes of U.S. Marine James Heller, who returns from a deployment to Iraq to discover his entire family has succumbed to the Blacklight Plague. Enraged, he re-enlists in the Marines and makes it his personal mission to not only eradicate the Blacklight Plague, but also kill the game's original protagonist, Alex Mercer. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys sticking around here on Project X Talk. If you guys like these type of videos, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It goes a long way to help us grow this channel. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Ethan, aka White Sea Deer. If you have any other IPs that you want to talk about related to Activision Blizzard, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, love y'all. Take it easy now.